Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Esoteric series on the MiSTer FPGA DE10 Nano project. More specifically in this instance, Taki Udon and Retro Remakes MiSTer Pi and Superstation 1. Because we got a lot of information today on the next round of ordering, as well as reduced tariffs for the actual products coming in the United States, which is going to make a lot of people happy, and then just some absolute straight up wackiness utilizing the ARM cores on MiSTer FPGA to run games that we don't have FPGA cores for yet. Before I get too far involved though, do me a huge favor down below, hit like and subscribe and ring that notification bell, definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, we got a Patreon link down below as well. But the last round of shipping, as far as orders on April 25th were concerned, I told you guys the systems are coming up for sale again. I know a lot of people in the comments purchased them, and a lot of people have received them and been having a ton of fun. So if this is your first MiSTer FPGA and you just joined the party in the last month or so, welcome to the club. I think you're going to have an absolutely outstanding time. We also went over in the last video a lot of the UI elements that are going to be on Superstation 1, and Taki Udon has updated everyone on that as well. If you just want to see the UI, skip towards the back quarter of the video because they're going to be going over a lot of other stuff. But I love how much experimenting Taki Udon and Retro Remake do with the MiSTer FPGA hardware, both on the software side as well as the side of what it can actually be. Because Superstation 1's a complete pivot on what MiSTer FPGA can be, but it's so much fun and I can't wait to review it. If you are looking to get another one of the MiSTer Pis or your first one, you're going to see here that Batch 3 is going to be available on or around May 16th, and I told you I would remind you when the next ordering session goes up, so set a reminder in your calendar, set your clocks, and make sure you grab one if you want to, because they're going to be available for purchase again soon. But now moving over to the absolute fun absurdity of this super cursed MiSTer, Taki Udon just kind of played around and ported over RetroArch to MiSTer FPGA, and I get questions like this all of the time. Could MiSTer FPGA run RetroArch? Could it run MAME? And the reality is there is an ARM core on that FPGA chip, and you can basically do whatever you want if you actually write the code for it. You'll see here Taki Udon goes into the scripts folder and just picks RetroArch and goes ahead and runs Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. It's one of those things, it's always been thought of that this would be possible, just no one actually spent the time to try this. Now this is not something that is out, it may never come out, but it is a proof of concept showing you that the actual hardware behind MiSTer FPGA can do things outside of FPGA recreation of original hardware. It can run something like RetroArch, and it is pretty impressive, just the frame rates it's getting a consistent 60 frames per second, and trust me, the ARM cores on the FPGA chip are nothing special, they are just there. We use them for different functions on the OS side of things, but these are not high test ARM cores. The FPGA chip on MiSTer is not a new chip as well, so it's not like these things have a ton of horsepower, but software emulation has gotten so good in recent years, you don't need a lot to actually be able to emulate something like Third Strike at 60 frames per second. You can throw a potato at it, and it's going to execute everything it needs to on that potato. And as far as the ARM cores of MiSTer FPGA are concerned, they're kind of russet shaped, if you know what I mean. But this is just a wild proof of concept, and I get it. Some people would love to see this on MiSTer FPGA. Some people think it basically goes against the entire project ethos. For me personally, I really don't mind what anyone does with the hardware. We have FPGA cores, we have a ton of different ways to play games on MiSTer FPGA, so if somebody actually wants to work on porting RetroArch or MAME over to the platform, good for them. It would be an exciting project to see. I would definitely make videos on it, because there's been some adjacent style projects like this on MiSTer FPGA already, which I'll show you in just a bit. But I've moved over to real Street Fighter 3 captured footage here, and you can see compared to what we had on the RetroArch sample from Taki Udon, it is extremely close, and that is because Final Burn does an exceptionally good job of actually emulating the Capcom CPS III hardware. And I know we've been talking about a CPS III core on MiSTer FPGA for a while, and Jotego just mentioned it as well, so hopefully we do get that eventually. But imagine a world in which you could just load up RetroArch from your couch and play Capcom CPS III hardware without actually utilizing the FPGA elements. This is what it would sound like. It's a fun soundtrack sample from Taki Udon, so listen, and I'll be right back.
Prepare to strike, now!
If you're thinking to yourself, that just sounds like Street Fighter 3, it is just Street Fighter 3 because it's running on RetroArch. And again, if you take a look at the actual Cyclone V SoC here, that FPGA chip, you're going to see the word ARM on there. And that is because there are ARM cores on the chip, and you can utilize those basically for whatever you want if you write the software to be able to go ahead and do it. And obviously this is just a proof of concept. It may never go anywhere further than just showing RetroArch running on Taki Udon setup, but it means things like this are possible on MiSTer FPGA. And again, I know there's probably going to be some argument in the comments as to whether or not this is something that MiSTer FPGA would need or would even support, but it's one of those things. Just do whatever you want. If it makes you happy and you want to port RetroArch over to MiSTer FPGA or MAME, go ahead and do it. Because like I said earlier, we have adjacent projects to this. We have the Groovy Core and Groovy MAME, which basically allow you to send the video signal over a network to your MiSTer FPGA in the Groovy Core, giving you an ability to actually output MAME or any other emulator, any other basic screen from your PC that you want into a CRT television using MiSTer FPGA. Is basically a GPU. Then you interact with the emulator and just go ahead and play from there. This will work for MAME, it'll work for other emulators as well, so it's not like there isn't a case in which you've actually shown this working on MiSTer FPGA, just using the hardware in different and creative ways. So for me personally, I have no issue. If people want to port MAME over to MiSTer, if they want to port RetroArch over to MiSTer to play games that we don't have cores for yet, I think that's absolutely an outstanding idea, and hopefully somebody picks up on it. If it's not for you, the good news is you just don't need to use it. Now moving over to the tariff news, this is going to excite everybody. The tariffs have dropped to 10% on the MiSTer Pi. That means whatever the purchase price is when it comes in the United States, it is going to be a 10% tariff, and handhelds are going to be 30%. But of course, you don't really have a handheld to buy yet because that is still in development, and it is quite possible that there's no tariffs whatsoever by the time that ships. And before you go down and turn the comment section into a political argument, just try to be cool about this one. I didn't make the tariffs, you didn't make the tariffs, nobody involved in making this channel or watching this channel made the tariffs, so you're yelling into the ether if you're trying to start a political fight down below. It's one of those things. I'm sure it'll get sorted out eventually, but right now the tariffs have been vastly reduced, so 10% on the MiSTer Pi is going to be something like $15 to $20 depending on exactly what you ordered. Now Taki Udon's also updated the overall UI for Superstation 1. All of the menus are done. They're just trying to improve the speed. I'm sure that means the speed of just getting some of that art to load up, because the art is going to be on the SD card alongside everything else that MiSTer FPGA is, including your games. So I'm sure some of the access speed is just things that need to be addressed so that artwork pops up quickly. Now moving over to the Super Dock side of things, Taki Udon's updated that as well, moving around a couple of the buttons and IR sensors, but for the most part it seems like all of the different design elements are done, so that can start manufacturing when it is ready. It's one of those things, you got to get the case designed perfect the first time out, because you do not want to get into modifying molds. It becomes incredibly expensive incredibly quickly, so it seems like that design process is done. And if you were curious, it is going to be a DVD drive, and apparently you can just hook it up into your PC and watch movies on it, which I don't think anyone's going to do whatsoever, but it is a fun little party trick because it is just using an off-the-shelf DVD drive. It would be hilarious if somebody wrote a DVD player core for MiSTer FPGA. Don't expect to see it, but it seems like something that could technically be possible now too. But honestly, seeing RetroArch run on MiSTer FPGA was a ton of fun, and don't forget the Triassic DE10 Nano is based on an educational foundation. It is there for people to do research on FPGA code development so they can kind of get up to speed, maybe in their career or maybe in their education in an engineering degree. So people playing around with what MiSTer FPGA can do and running RetroArch on it is just kind of part of the overall concept of what the DE10 Nano board and the MiSTer Pi clone exists for in the first place. It's one of those things, if you don't want RetroArch on MiSTer FPGA, totally cool. If it ever shows up, you don't need to use it. But I would love to see MiSTer kind of expand in different directions to do different things that technically it could be capable of, but we just don't have FPGA cores for yet. Because in the meantime, while somebody like Jotego is making a Capcom CPS III core, if you could just load RetroArch and play the game and play it relatively well until we got the core, I don't think anyone would mind whatsoever, because MiSTer FPGA is just a great couch gaming setup. You can play so many incredible cores from so many incredible developers, but in the meantime, if you want to load up RetroArch or MAME and kind of give it a go, I would not argue with that in any way, shape, or form. The more the merrier, in my opinion. And of course, this was just an experiment from Taki Udon, but it shows it can be done, so something tells me another developer is going to come along and decide to just run with the concept and maybe give you a full working final burn on MiSTer FPGA in the future. But this is what I really love about MiSTer FPGA. Wacky ideas suddenly become realities, and those realities get used by a ton of people, and everyone has a lot of fun with them. Like the Groovy Core, it is just basically sending video around, but it makes it so that you can play MAME on a CRT via MiSTer, and I love that. Leave me a comment down below and you tell me, final burn on MiSTer FPGA, yay or nay. But we're done. I'll see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye bye.